Hi, how you doing? Wednesday, today, I'm going to talk about relationships. Where did you get your love map from? And here's the answer to that question, and it's really quite a powerful revelation. Next 2 minutes, let's go on a journey. Isn't it incredible that the one thing that we don't get any education about, in fact, we don't get very much education about all the important things in life. Who educated us to be a parent? Nobody. Who educated us into what is expected in a marriage and in a relationship? Nobody. Well, that's not entirely true. When we're a child between 0 and 8, we have no filtering mechanism whatsoever. We are tuned into total dependence and survival. The Jesuits say, give me the child at 8, I will give you the man. The fact is that we learn by observation, imitation, and repetition. We absorb the models of love and parenting from exactly what we see in our home life. It may not seem obvious, but we walk like mum or dad, we talk like mum and dad, we are sucking it all in. We have no filtering mechanism. Whatever we see is what becomes our normal. It's what becomes love to us. If we see negativity in the voices of the parents, that's what we think love is. If we see functional caressing and nurturing, that's what we think love is. We got our road map to love and intimacy directly from what we were exposed to in our childhood. The question for every single one of us is this: what were you exposed to? Whose love did you crave the most? Mum, dad, auntie, uncle? Who did you most want to be loved by? Because who you wanted to be loved by has given you your map. You crave to be loved exactly as you were loved. For some of us, that's very functional. For some of us, that's not at all functional. And it's our job, of course, to take a look at what we came from and say, okay, what am I taking into a relationship? 2, is my transaction in this relationship about the give or the get? Am I here because I want to get stuff? Because you're going to be very hard to please. If your whole license for being in the relationship is I want to get stuff, it's going to be a very tough, hard time being a partner to you. Secondly, what is your expectations? Unconditional love? Nonsense. Doesn't exist. What about I want to be happily ever after? You know, we've all read those fairy tales when we were a kid, and the truth of the matter is that anybody who's been in a functioning relationship knows that there's no such thing as happily ever after. It's a myth. We've been sold a whole load of myth. Let's talk about unconditional love just very briefly. The nearest I have experienced in unconditional love is the love that I have for my daughters. Let's be blunt. They've spat on me, dribbled on me, urinated on me, pooed on me, thrown up on me, made all sorts of mistakes, broken things, thrown food around my house, thrown food on me. And I love them. I love them for what they are. Can you imagine going on a date with a guy and he did that? He threw up on your leg as you were driving home. Don't talk to me about unconditional love. No. We have many conditions on our love. The truth is we have many rules about what it is to be loved, to both give and receive loved. The truth of a beautiful relationship is when we can sit down and say, what do you expect of me? Why are you here? What do you want? What do you think love is? What do I think love is? What do you expect of me as a wife? What do you expect of me as a woman? Did you want a wife or a servant? Did you want a man who pays this, pays that? What exactly are you bringing in? What do you expect? And if more of us had that conversation before we got married and before we got deeply into it, we'd be a lot more equitous and even and sensible with each other, and we could actually communicate what our real needs are and actually get them met. And I think we'd be a whole lot happier in our relationships. Take a step. When's the last time you sat down and worked in a really honest, relaxed way on your relationship with each other and gave each other space to speak your truth? Because a queen needs a king. And if he's not treating you like a queen, he's not a king. And every king needs a queen. It's a beautiful dance based on respect. Take the journey. It's worth it. Sit down and talk to each other. Thanks. We're running out of time. That's all we've got for today. We're going to be talking each Wednesday about relationships here. Have a great day and be at peace in your relationship. See ya.